Okay. So we're going to go over some donor drive tips and tricks because there's a lot of features on donor drive that are kind of hidden. And it actually took me years to figure out some of these tips. So to start out, editing your walk page. So if you go onto your page, and especially this year, since there's so much opportunity for virtual walks, you might be registered for multiple walks. You can go to your dashboard and click your events to toggle between different walks. But you go to your page to be able to edit your personal page. So this is a little look at my page. You're able to edit the picture, you're able to edit your name, and then you can go under your story and you can edit the story. There's a little like generic blurb in there about the Out of the Darkness walk and Project 2025, but people really respond to your personal story, and you'll get a lot more engagement if you personalize this. And then if you scroll down a little further, you can go to walk page settings. And this will give you some really fun features. And this is something that I really didn't utilize until last year. But you can change your fundraising goal. So say you set a $1,000 fundraising goal and we're several months out and you're already at $500 or $600. You might want to up that fundraising goal to challenge people to keep engaging with you and keep raising funds and kind of challenge yourself. You can also edit your page link. So you get a very random grouping of numbers for your link. And in years past, I've just entered my link into Bitly to get a little short URL, but you can actually customize your URL. And so like I'm typically registered for multiple walks, so I'll change it to something that I know which walk I'm posting the link for. So I might have, say for campus walk season, I had M. Cole U of L and M. Cole UK. So I knew which walk I was doing a post for. And then in settings, you can also create a Facebook fundraiser. And you can manage your milestones. I think this is a really cool feature, and it's a great way to engage with people who are going to donate to you. So you can just make a milestone be whatever you want it to be. When I hit $500, I will match all donations. Or you can say, when I hit $500, I will dump a bucket of frozen water over my head. It can be whatever you want it to be to try to challenge and encourage your donors. And then you can also add incentives. So say you make a team shirt and you're trying to get people to purchase shirts, you can have an incentive on there, donate $25 and receive a team shirt or something along those lines. So then you can also, up at the top of the screen, you can edit your team page. Here you're also able to do another photo. You can edit the team name at any time. And there's also an area where you can edit your story. But on the team page, you also have the same setting options where you can change your team fundraising goal and you can customize your team URL. I also want to point out that little checkbox at the bottom, allow only people I invite to join the team. So sometimes this is a setting people accidentally click while they're registering their team, and then people have a hard time joining their team. So if you want people to have the ability to just go to your team page and click join team, make sure this box stays unchecked. So if that box is checked at any point, then only people you send an invite to will be able to join. And then I want to point out Dashboard, because Dashboard has tons of awesome tools where you, to give you fundraising tips and other ways to engage with people. So the Your Fundraising section on the right side of the dashboard has just about everything. You can view your page, you can edit any registration details. Say you're like me and have put on a few pounds during COVID, you can change your shirt size very easily. You can make a donation, you can view your donations, but I want to point out that you can register another participant. So like my 2-year-old doesn't have an email, but I go ahead and I register him on my team, and I'm able to just do that for my account. The only thing I would recommend on doing that is if you're registering someone else, say you're registering a spouse who's just not great about getting on and registering. That's not a personal story at all. And when you get on there, make sure you put in their actual email so that they're getting updates on the walk as well. Because if you don't enter an email for them, Donor Drive will kind of make like a fake email and they won't receive anything. And then the main part of your dashboard page, there's this little scrolling function that has a bunch of different fundraising features. So here's just a few of them. It's another way to connect your fundraiser to Facebook. You can give a gift to yourself. You can create a message to ask friends to donate. You can connect with social media accounts so that you can really easily do a post from your fundraising page. You can go through and edit your fundraising page through here as well. You can reach out to past supporters. So anybody who's donated to you in the past, you can send an email to them, just letting them know that you're fundraising again, and it'll let you customize the message. And then it just got some suggestions on getting started. Another cool feature, and this is one that I actually just figured out, is if you have a blog or a website that you're able to edit, you can embed a fundraising banner. So there's a few different options for it. And I'll go through and share my screen and kind of show you how to do this, but you're able to embed the code so that people can see your fundraising and make a donation to you very easily. So now there's also a participant hub, and if you've walked with us before, this is actually Walker Central. But because so many of our Out of the Darkness events are turning into an Out of the Darkness experience this year, and not everywhere is able to have a walk, Walker Central has become the participant hub. So it's got news and updates, the offline donation form. I get questions for this all the time. What are you supposed to do with a check somebody gave you? An offline donation form you'll be able to fill out. It has the mailing address. You're able to mail it directly to our national office. And it has all of your information so that the check gets posted to your personal fundraising page. There's also customizable social media graphics. So you can easily share your Why I Walk story or share that you're walking with us. There's different fundraising tools and a lot more. So that's a good place to spend some time and explore and get some inspiration. So under the Participant Hub tab, you can also go to Be a Team Captain. And this gives you some different team captain and team building ideas, and just kind of some inspiration on leading your team. But the Team Captain Central tab is the place where I would personally spend the most time because it has the Team Captain Handbook. This is the Bible of being a team captain. It is wonderful, and it has even more donor drive tips than I'm giving you today. It's got different checklists you can go through, ideas for fundraising. It is a really great resource to have in order to build your team and really inspire you to do some cool fundraising. There's also a customizable team recruitment flyer under this tab. And then there's different social share graphics and videos that you can use. So we always have different 30-second and 60-second PSAs. Those are easy ones that you can share with friends and family to let them know what our Out of the Darkness events are about. So I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to go to Donor Drive and kind of do a live demonstration of how this works. Okay, so we are at the screen. So the link for the Louisville Walk is afsb.org/Louisville. Makes it easy to share for everyone. Now my computer automatically logs me in. but yours might not. So there will be like a little lock in the upper right-hand corner, and you can log in there. If you don't remember your password from a year's past, or you've got a teammate that doesn't remember their password, there is a forgot my password option, and it'll send you a reset email. Just be warned that it takes maybe like a half hour to an hour for that email to come through. So just have a little patience with it. It doesn't send right away like most places. So for the Louisville walk, so I go to my dashboard. Now I'm registered for Louisville and the Carroll County walk right now, so I can toggle between the two pages really easily. And you can also see your event history if you want to see how many years you've been walking or whatever other events you've completed. So I'm going to go to the team page first. This is where you can edit your picture. You can upload an image. You can also connect to your Facebook account to import your profile picture. You can edit your name if you've gotten married or you filled out your form really fast and accidentally did a typo. Easy fix. And then you can scroll down. Here's an add a stream function. This is becoming much bigger, especially in the age of COVID. So if you want to add a stream from YouTube or Twitch, you can add it directly to your donor drive page for people to see. And then you can go to settings, and this is where you can change your fundraising goal. So if you could just click customize, so I'm going to do M. Cole Louisville. And then I can click enter. And now when I go back to settings, M. Cole Louisville is my new one. And then you can just copy that real quick. I will say that if you're trying to copy your custom page link, it doesn't automatically fill up in your URL. You'll have to come back to the settings and use the copy function. I can also create a Facebook fundraiser through here. So if I click the create a fundraiser, I'm just going to show you real quick how it works. So it's already been created because I'm logged in on my computer. So I'm able to view the fundraiser and I can make any page edits I want. It automatically fills in your goal. It does the generic message. So you're able to go in and edit this however you would like. And that's how easy it is to connect a Facebook fundraiser. So one last thing about settings. Oh, here's the milestones. So you just do a milestone amount, enter the description. And here's incentives. And so you can even upload an image of the incentive. This is a newer feature. So I think both of these functions will be really good at creative fundraising this year. And then you've got some privacy things. Just be sure to click Save Changes before you're exiting out of the window to make sure everything saves. And then you can go to your team page and you can do some of the same edits. So you're able to upload an image. You're able to edit the team name. You can edit the story. So to edit the story, it's same as on your page. You click this little button, and then you can go in and make any edits that you'd like. And you can actually import your team's page from a different walk that you've completed, which is a nice function. And then you can go to settings, and same thing, you can edit your team URL. I'm going to do Team Linda. Save changes. And you can edit your fundraising goal from there. So there's the team page. And then here's your dashboard. So this is where you can, this is a quick way to get to your page again. See how it looks. You can also view donations received, and this is where you can register another participant. So you can choose a previous participant that you've already registered from another event or create a new one, and then you just select your relationship to that person, and then you can enter their email. And so since I've already started the Facebook fundraiser, I can view the Facebook fundraiser from here as well. But there's also this nice little section. It gives you easy ways to send messages to people and different ways that you can be fundraising and engaging with people. I really like this option to email past donors, because sometimes you get kind of a random donation from somebody that you might not have contact with often, and they might really appreciate hearing from you, hearing that you're continuing to walk and to support AFSP. So then we can go to Participant Hub, formerly Walker Central. Here you have the Facebook fundraisers again. I will explain why the Facebook fundraisers is in so many places, because it's kind of easy to do the Facebook fundraiser wrong. So I'll show you an example of that. Here you can find the offline donation form. This is it. You just print it out and mail it in with any checks you receive. And then there's different ways to share your stories. There's these little PDFs. They're little vignettes. You can have these walkers printed out to hand out to groups, let people know why you're walking. And then I love these, the custom social shares. They're already formatted for Facebook and Instagram, and you can customize them with your own photo and why you're walking. And then if you go back up, be a team captain. This is where you can find info on building your team, setting goals, how to ask people. Sometimes it's hard and outside of your comfort zone to ask new people to donate or to join your team. So ideas for recruiting, ideas for leading your team, and then just some logistics tips and best practices. So Team Captain Central is where you're going to find the Team Captain Handbook. This is such an amazing tool. It gives you a little bit of background information. So sometimes when you're asking people to donate, or if you're asking a business to contribute, they'll ask a little bit about financials and where their money is going. So you can refer to this document, and there's links in here too, so you can learn about our work. It's got tips about sharing your story, being personal, tips about recruitment. This is such a wonderful, wonderful tool. So then back at Team Captain Central, you also have some customizable flyers. I know Josh and his team use these quite a bit last year or the year before, and that seemed to work very well. And then you have some social share graphics and videos. So if you're familiar with our honor beads, this is where you can find honor beads photos to post to your Facebook. All you've got to do is click on it, and then you can save the image. You can explain the colors. We've got Walk to Fight Suicide graphics, and then the donation graphics. I think people really like to see what exactly their money is going to. So this is just a few ways that AFSP is out in the community. And then you can also find more shareable images here. And this has all of AFSP's social shareables. So stuff from Pride Month, Minority Mental Health Month, just some of our general mental health graphics, some of our resource graphics. They are all on here, and they're so easy to share, and it's a great way to raise awareness in your community. So the last thing I want to point out is resources, and this is just a quick place where you can find an itemized donation form if you have multiple donations to turn in, and an offline donation form so you can mail in any checks. Before we move on to the next section, does anybody have any questions? Okay. So social media tips and tricks. This is the Facebook fundraiser section. So anytime that you're posting about AFSP or an Out of the Darkness walk, this add a donate button option will come up. And it's nice and it's a great way to fundraise, but it will not go to your personal fundraiser and it won't go to the Kentucky chapter. It actually goes to a national donation fund or AFSP. So you are still supporting a great cause, but we're not able to move those funds over to your personal fundraising page. So the correct way to do it is to go to your donor drive page and click the Create a Facebook Fundraiser, either from your dashboard or from your personal page. Social shares. So I will send out this PowerPoint afterwards too, and it's got the walk social shares and then the general AFSP shares. And this is just a great tool to add to your social media posts, telling people about the walk and why you walk and why mental health is so important. So just a few tips for social media use. Invite people to your fundraiser. That way it pops up, they get notifications about it. They'll be able to see your progress and see anything that you share specifically to your fundraiser. If you haven't done a Facebook fundraiser before, it's really easy and it's fun because it's kind of like you make a little mini team out of the fundraiser and you're able to post in there you can share links to any like AFSP blogs or mental health resources. And so there's a lot of things that you can do through there. Make a group for your team. So this is something that I've done for a couple years now, and it's just been a nice way to keep my team posted. And as I find new friends or coworkers or family members who are interested in participating in the walk, I add them in there. And it's just a nice way we can share pictures. We're able to share fundraising ideas. We're able to cheer each other on because most of my team is around the country, and so they do different things in their own towns for the walk every year. So it's just a nice way that we're able to keep people posted. If you're doing a social media post, sharing your story, single photo posts tend to get the most engagement. So either sharing a personal photo or one of the social media shares, that's a good way to get people most engaged. It really highlights your post. Keep your posts on the shorter side. I try to keep it to like less than 150 or 200 words. Beyond that, people stop reading. So some of us are a little more long-winded and have longer stories, and that's fine. Just take that opportunity, kind of break it into multiple posts. And I'll talk a little bit about how to share your story in a safe way. And you can also create challenges. So we have birthday fundraiser graphics. So rather than starting a birthday fundraiser, you can share your fundraising page for your walk and say, I'm turning 30 this week. I challenge 30 friends to donate $30. There's different fun things you can do with that. In September, we'll have lots of things for Suicide Prevention Month. On World Suicide Prevention Day, September 10th, you could challenge 10 friends to donate $10. So you can do little things like that throughout walk season. And sharing your story. So make sure you're at a safe place in your recovery, and also make sure that you're just at a safe place with your mental health right now. I know we're all having a lot of struggles with our mental health, and it can vary day to day during this time. So just make sure that you're in a safe space and in a safe place when you are writing out or sharing your story. Make sure that you're defining the key message. It shouldn't just be about your pain. Your goal should be to educate and inspire hope in others. So emphasize your journey. Talk about before and after the loss, and talk about your recovery. You can include what a dark place you were in, or your feelings of grief, or anger and loss, but also share your feelings of hope and some of the positive things as you've moved forward in your grief journey, and talk about how you're able to manage your mental health or how you manage your mental health on a day-to-day basis. because that can be really inspiring for people, and you never really know who you'll meet. When I first started sharing my personal story on Facebook, there were people that I hadn't talked to in 10 or 15 years who were reaching out with their own stories. Sometimes people are just waiting for that opening. And then try to always include some sort of resource, even if it's just AFSP's website or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So avoid using phrases like commit suicide or successful attempt. We try to use the phrase died by suicide, ended one's life, somebody who made an attempt, or someone who has lived experience with their own attempt. Just because the phrases commit suicide or successful attempts have a lot of judgment and stigma behind them. Avoid details about suicide methods. So try at all costs to not refer to lethal means in your story. Don't use any sort of graphic descriptions because this can be triggering to those who are struggling and can cause contagion. And don't simplify suicide. Reducing an attempt to a single or a loss to a single cause, it really fails to educate the public about the complexity of suicide and the many warning signs and risk factors that can signal an attempt. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend attending one of our Talk Saves Lives presentations so you can learn a little more about this. And then don't glorify suicide. We see this a lot in the media where a suicide is glorified, but that can be dangerous. So just a few tips, tricks, and reminders. Have you and your team talk to your HR department about matching gifts, different donation programs, or fundraising opportunities, and reach out to other team members. My team does a bake sale. I don't know how it'll work this year. It'll be different this year for sure. But we do a bake sale at one of my teammates' offices, and they match the donations from the bake sale. So it's a really great opportunity for us. Create a fundraising plan for your team. So if you have a $1,000 fundraising goal and you have 10 people on your team, then break it down to everybody setting a $100 fundraising goal. So creating little plans like that, and then you're able to kind of hold each other accountable, and everybody does their part. Be sure to lead by example. So if you're the team captain, people on your team are going to watch what you're doing. It's easy to make a small donation to your page so that they see that. You start a team fundraiser, or you find an opportunity with your work or your church or a group that you're involved with, and then that will inspire them to do the same. And then always remember your why. It's easy during walk season to kind of get caught up in different competitions and fundraising goals and all this, but remember why you're walking. Who are you walking for? Why is suicide prevention important to you? Why is mental health important to you? And really focus on that, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, and it's about your journey. And then check out the team fundraising ideas in the Team Captain Handbook. There's tons of different Team Captain fundraising ideas, and a lot of them can be adapted to our virtual era and social distancing era right now. So set clear and meaningful team and individual walk goals. What amount are you guys trying to raise? And help your teammates individually make a list of who they should ask for support. Help them go through and think about all the connections they have, their hairdresser, their dentist, their mechanic, all the different connections, and all the people that they can ask. Think about the people who cannot say no to them and make sure those people are on the list. And then try to brainstorm at least one group fundraising activity for your entire team. It's a great way for you guys to be together, to support each other. There's lots of great things that you can do digitally right now to give people connection and unity, but also be a fun fundraising activity. And then you can also create team t-shirts, which is a really great way to fundraise. But also we have a fellow team captain, Jeannie, who owns a screen printing place. And if you order through her, she donates all the profits to her team. So creating a team t-shirt and selling it for profit to fundraise for your team, in turn also supports Jeannie's team. So you're doubly supporting the Louisville Walk. And then another great idea is seek approval to host a dress down day at work in exchange for donations, if you guys are back in the office yet. So some team recruitment tips: send invites to join your team. Like I said, you never know who has been touched by suicide. Research shows that most Americans will be touched by suicide in some way at some point in their life. So invite everyone, make it a public thing, inviting friends, family, coworkers, people from your church or a group that you're involved with, their book club, another volunteer group. Just because you volunteer for one cause doesn't mean you can't be involved with another cause. So invite everyone. It's free to register. It's free to participate. This year, there will be a lot of opportunities for different virtual engagements. So we're not even limited by location anymore. Invite your friends and family from around the country to participate with you. Host a team captain or a team kickoff, different virtual and in-person opportunities. For our team captain kickoff week, we'll be having a virtual bingo this weekend. So I can kind of give you some tips on how to do that for a team kickoff. You can use Skype, FaceTime, or Zoom, and just have different ways to engage. You could also do like a social distancing thing. It's an outdoor facility. You could do a candlelight vigil. There's lots of different ways you can get creative with it. You can make posters for the walk together. So it's just a nice way to get together and have connection. Post about your team and share your story. You'll not only let people know about the walk, which a lot of times people don't know about AFSP or the walk, but you're also letting people know that you're a safe person to talk to about mental health. So once you're starting to share your story and people know that you make mental health a priority, then in the case that they need to talk to somebody about their mental health, you'll probably be a person that they reach out to because they know that you're very supportive. And then check out the Team Captain Handbook for a recruitment checklist. It's got a lot of great things that you might not think of right away for recruiting new people to your team. So this week we're going to have a variety of challenges, and hopefully I showed you everything on Donor Drive on how to complete these challenges. And what I'll be doing is sharing a graphic each day in our Facebook kickoff event. So be sure that you've been on there and have RSVP to that so you can get a notification when I post this graphic each day. And then when you complete these tasks, just comment on it, done, and I'll know that you've completed it and you'll get entries. So you get an entry on Monday for each time you share your walk page on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And you get 5 bonus entries for linking your Facebook page to your fundraiser. So if you've already linked your Facebook page to your fundraiser, just share that fundraiser again and you get 5 bonus entries. On Tuesday, customize your fundraising page, customize your team page, and increase your fundraising goal. You get 1 entry for each of these. On Wednesday, send 10 team recruitment emails through Donor Drive and earn a bonus entry for each additional email sent. So if you send 15 emails instead of 10, you will get 6 entries. On Thursday, add members to your team. This is a really easy thing to do now that you know how you can register another participant. You can register your spouse, your child, your grandma who is not very good with the computer. It's an easy thing that you can do to grow your team. And on Friday, ask for donations, 1 entry for every $5 donated. So even if it's you donating $10 to yourself, you've got 2 entries off of that. And each day we'll be spinning a little prize wheel to see what the winner wins. We've got a lot of great merchandise and some vintage walk shirts that you can win. And then if you're not on Facebook, which I know a lot of people aren't, I will send out an email each day with the challenge, and you can just reply to that email and let me know you completed it. we've got a couple other events this week to kick off walk season. We're going to have a Facebook Live chat with our walk chairs, Alicia and Samantha, on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have some new walk details to tell you at that time. We're going to have a pop-up Christmas and a July sale. It'll be the very end of July, Friday through Sunday, and I'll give you details about that via email, and I'll say a little more about that during our Facebook Live chat as well. And then Saturday night, we're going to have a bingo. It is completely free to participate, and it's just a nice way to have a nice break, connect with other team captains, connect with board members and the walk planning committee. There's a $5 suggested donation per bingo card, but I just want as many people who need some connection right now to participate as possible. Okay, so what questions do people have?